Hi, my name is Daniel Solomon, and I'm back again with a review of another app that I made. This one is really simple. I don't think all apps need to be complicated. I guess some do. It depends on what they're for, right? I mean, this one just isn't. Because all it's for is for people who bowl. Do you bowl? I don't bowl because, I tried. Um, I'm I probably need to use those little bumper things. I guess how I bowl is I just throw it as hard as I can, and sometimes it goes crooked, and sometimes it goes straight, and I don't know. I just never. I think I got the ball to spin once ever. So anyway, enough about my poor bowling skills. Hopefully you bowl, because if you do bowl, then this is perfect. You would understand exactly what this is about, and you might like it. So the first thing is, this is just my presentation. You always want to present a nice screen. I just got some people bowling. You got a couple leads. You got the kids with the family over here. You got the pro over here. And then you have like the friends. I was gonna say the partiers, but I don't want to. I don't know. They could all not party. I don't know. So anyway, so this right here is a loading screen. It's pretty cool looking. Um, I just had like a red phone, and I tried to keep in the colors of the bowling. I mean, to me, the red, black, and white is like, typical bowling colors. And that's why in the logo, which is at the top here, if you see, it's actually a bowling lane with red and white and all these things. That probably didn't take forever, but like I always, if I'm doing something, I like these pins in this ball. Of course, I redrew them. I just wanted them to look crispy and clean. You don't want to just take someone else's stuff, even if it's good. Like, I guess depends on the time you have. I had time, so I was like, I'll just redraw it. Blah blah blah. This is what I want it to look like. This is what I want the app to open as. It's just the bowling alley with the logo. Um, and whatnot, and then it's got the login right here, which you've already would have used. That's pink, like two different shades of red and white. But anyway, that's not really important. It is as far as the overall look of it. Some people care, some don't. Um, now, uh, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, since it's very short and there's not a lot to look at, I'm just going to read what I wrote. Whether you're a serious bowler, this is why it's, this isn't why, but this is like my intro to the app, like you would read online, I guess, if you were going to download it. Whether you're a serious bowler, family, or just making fun, or a family just making fun memories, Strike Point can keep your memories forever, which is a fact. Well, as long as you keep your phone. Well, actually, that's not true. Apps store everything stuff on the cloud, so as long as that cloud's floating around, you should be able to access your memories forever, which is basically your bowling score. You can track your score for league play, training, or just a night out with friends or family. It has you covered from the first frame all the way to the last frame. Download our app today and get bowling again with Strike Point. I guess that's for someone like me, get bowling again. So the problem is bowlers of all levels need ways to track their scores and have access to them anywhere at any time. Using the bowling alley is not convenient because after you leave, you do not have digital access to your score history, which if they do, I did looked around, I could not find a bowling alley. I called a few and they're like, no, we don't. They're still. I haven't seen any modern bowling alleys. I haven't been to any, but the ones that I called and the ones I've ever been to, even as recent as this year, they're just still like the old dinosaurs. It's like, okay, it's like going in to watch. It's like going to the store and still seeing like the tube television. That's what they're like. I think so. So the solution is create an app that can record your bowling scores with the ability to choose from many different game types, from single player to unlimited players, and record the date of those games. It must also allow you to search games by date, score, and etc. So that's one of the solutions. Because I did talk to bowlers. I know who doesn't know somebody who bowls, and that was part of my research or my interviews was talking to people because I can sit here right now. I think I know everything about bowling, but I don't. There was like somebody would ask me, or somebody said, well, we need the ability to edit this, right, just in case there's a problem. And I never thought about that. I was just thinking, it's bowling. You go through, you write some numbers. But it does. You do now. It does have the ability to edit it. So thanks to research and interviews and all that great stuff you got to do when you make these apps. So it says down here, I ran multiple tests to make sure it was intuitive and had every feature possibly needed. It needed manual, here it goes, I should have just read this. It needed manual editing as mentioned by most test subjects. So I noted and added the ability to edit automatically, added game stats. Just tap on the frame and it becomes editable manually. It adds that ability as it was mentioned numerous times, so I made sure it was made functional. Only frames already filled in automatically can be edited. It keeps frames from being skipped. Which that does make a lot of sense, because if you skip, you can't skip a frame if it makes sense. So, excuse me, sorry about that. So what do we have? Let's look at these screens. They're I can't zoom into these, but you see the loading screen, the login, so you can see. Then you can choose from single play, league play, family fun, and game history. Family fun would pretty much be with your friends or family. I can change that to something, but this is just the way we left it. I left it because it's just you're not playing by yourself. You're not league. This is just for family fun. Your friends are like your family, right? Let's hope so. Okay, so we see the history in this next screen right here, and that's just if you want to look up your game history, you click on this. It's just scrolls by date. You can change the listing by highest score, by type. All those types of things are in here, because we all know when you want to search through something, you might be looking for your highest score. You might be looking for the game type. As a matter of fact, you can even choose game type and highest score. We don't want you just to be like, oh, what's the highest score? Then you got to find the game type too. You need to be able to have multiple filters. So it does have that. If you don't, and you're not really, I'm sorry, I don't want to say you're not smart, but you got to have it. So the game history, look, here it is, Daniel. That's me. There's no way I scored 271. I had to make myself look good. So I got 10 strikes. No spares, and a total of 271. So I did do stinky. I missed a few spares, in my imagination, of course. And so we have the single play, and it goes down to all the way down. You'll see this is just a single play. This first two rows, like me playing, it shows you. This is the end. I have the screen at the end. That's like the end of the game, and then this next bottom row is a few frames of that game. So you can see it, and it adds it up automatically for you, or what So you don't have to do anything. It adds it for you, of course. Imagine you didn't have that feature, and it keeps track of your spares, your strikes, your total, and like league play, it shows more than one player here. It's me. I played. This is after, and then when you go to the next player, which the button is right here, it's Brian, and then it starts over again, and then. It could be anything. Family play, the same thing on the bottom. Brooklyn, it's her first frame. She did the same. I just left the same numbers in there. And then we see it's the family play. It's her final for that frame. And then the next player, when you press next player, it comes over to Isabella and tap to begin. So you can edit your frames. So it's pretty simple. I just wanted to go over real quick. There's not a lot to talk about. It had its research. Everything was done, the way it should have been done. I just wanted to show the end result because of the fact it was so simple. There's no reason, I think, to spend a lot of time talking about the research, which I can tell you right now, it pretty much gave me nothing. But thankfully, it's a simple subject. It's not like I'm doing some kind of finance app where I'm like starting fresh and, that would be a nightmare for me. So this was not. This was easy to figure out. And again, thankfully, all the interviews and that was really where all the information came from. I had most of it, but like I said, I didn't think about the editing thing. I guess sometimes you're focused on something else, and that's why you have to do these interviews. That's why you got to do them over and over and over and test, because you just never know when somebody's going to say, hey, where's this? And you're like, oh, I never thought about it. Nobody thought about it. So, again, just thank you for your time, and hopefully you like this one. It's pretty neat, and I thank you very much, and have a good day.